We have new crash test results this morning. Nation's top-selling large SUVs had room to improve, but Ford Expedition and the Chevy Tahoe earned low marks in several key safety categories, including crash protection.
In new tests focused on crash protections for rear seat passengers, none scored well and underperformed in a front crash test more than 90% of new vehicles have scored well on since 2021.
What these tests have told us is that having a bigger, heavier vehicle does not always mean safer.
Right now, people are dropping $50,000 on luxury SUVs that are getting absolutely destroyed by vehicles costing less than $25,000. And the car industry? They're counting on you never finding out. Here's what they don't want you to know. Those fancy badges? That premium leather smell? It's all smoke and mirrors. Because under the hood, on the road, where it actually matters, these budget SUVs are embarrassing vehicles that cost twice as much. We're talking better acceleration, superior fuel economy, more cargo space, technology that actually works, all for half the price, or less. But here's where it gets crazy. Luxury dealerships are still packed. Thousands of people, every single day, are signing away their financial futures for overpriced metal boxes, while the real winners are hiding in plain sight at your local dealership. The automotive elite have been playing you for decades. They bet that you'd never question the price tag, that you'd keep chasing that luxury badge no matter what it costs you. So here's the question that changes everything. What if the smartest car you could buy right now is the one they told you wasn't good enough? Step inside a luxury dealership and you'll hear the same pitch over and over. You're not just buying a car, you're buying prestige. But behind those glass walls, there's another story unfolding. Salespeople aren't just selling vehicles, they're cashing in. On a $50,000 luxury SUV, the dealership pockets up to $7,000 in gross profit. That's more than double what they make on a reliable Honda or Toyota. The difference? It's not in the engineering, it's in the markup. A former luxury dealer, voice disguised for obvious reasons, once admitted, "We're trained to sell the dream. Talk about the badge, the leather, the name. Never mention how much goes straight into our pockets." On a single sale, a top-performing salesperson can walk away with a commission check of $2,000, $3,000, sometimes even $5,000, more than some people bring home in a month. All for convincing someone that a logo is worth an extra $20,000. The numbers are baked into the system. Manufacturer holdbacks, hidden incentives, and finance upsells push the profit even higher. Luxury brands enforce pricing floors, protecting those fat margins by refusing to discount. Meanwhile, mainstream dealers fight for every dollar, sometimes selling near invoice just to move inventory. The luxury side? They're buying espresso machines for the waiting room and sending sales staff on paid vacations for hitting sales targets paid for by your premium experience. Industry reports from NADA and Cox Automotive show the truth. Luxury dealers average $4,000 to $7,000 profit per SUV, while a mainstream Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4 brings in $2,000, maybe $2,500 on a good day. The real kicker? That extra profit rarely goes into better parts or longer warranties. It lines pockets and funds showroom upgrades, not reliability. So when a salesperson leans in and tells you you're making an investment, remember who's actually getting rich. The next time you see a luxury badge, ask yourself, is it really about quality, or is it just paying for someone else's commission? Because for every $50,000 SUV that rolls off the lot, there's a budget SUV out there quietly racking up 200,000 miles, while the dealer who sold the luxury badge is laughing all the way to the bank. Forget the badge, the showroom, the espresso machine in the waiting area. The only question that matters is this: what's the real cost? Over years, over miles, over the life of your SUV. That's where the financial triple win comes in. It's the lens that separates hype from substance, and it's built on 3 simple pillars: repairs, insurance, and resale value. Start with repairs. The average annual repair bill for the most reliable SUVs, think Honda, Toyota, Subaru, hovers around $400 a year. Compare that to a luxury SUV, where you're staring down $1,200 a year just to keep the thing running. That's not an outlier. A single transmission failure on a European badge can wipe out $5,000 in one shot, sometimes before you even hit 100,000 miles. Meanwhile, a Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4 will shrug off 200,000 miles, with little more than oil changes and basic service. The numbers don't lie. Over 10 years, that's an $8,000 difference in repair costs alone. Money that stays in your pocket, not the mechanic's register. Move to insurance. IIHS. Top safety pick. Plus ratings aren't just bragging rights. They're a ticket to lower premiums. A Subaru Forester or Honda CR-V can cost 15% less to insure compared to a BMW X3 or Audi Q5. For a typical policyholder, that's a savings of $500 a year, every year. Add it up over a decade, and you're looking at $5,000 or more, just for picking a vehicle that's engineered to keep you safer and costs less to fix after a fender bender. Now, resale. Here's where the math gets wild. A 5-year-old Toyota RAV4 or Honda CR-V can still fetch close to 75% of its original value. Try that with a luxury SUV, most will lose half their value in the same time frame. That's a $12,000 hit the moment you sign the dotted line, and it only gets worse with each year. Used 2018 CR-Vs are selling within a few $1,000s of new BMW prices because reliability is the real luxury. Stack it all together: lower repairs, cheaper insurance, and bulletproof resale. That's the triple win formula. It's not about chasing status, it's about owning a vehicle that pays you back, mile after mile, year after year. The industry won't advertise it, but the numbers are there for anyone willing to look. The smartest choice isn't the flashiest one. It's the one that quietly outperforms, outlasts, and outsaves the rest. Honda's playbook is simple. Build it right, make it last, and let the data speak for itself. At the top of every reliability ranking, the Honda HR-V stands alone. Consumer Reports gives it an 89 out of 100. J.D. Power puts it near the very top for dependability. Owners rack up 150,000, 200,000 miles without a second thought. The formula? No gimmicks, no fragile electronics, just a bulletproof engine, a transmission built for the long haul, and a chassis that shrugs off winter, potholes, and daily grind. But the real legend isn't the HR-V, it's the Honda CR-V. For decades, the CR-V has been the quiet workhorse of American roads, quietly stacking up miles while luxury rivals limp to the shop. A 2008 CR-V, still running strong at 455,000 miles, gets regular oil changes, a timing belt every 100,000 miles, and the occasional air conditioning compressor. That's it. No big repairs, no drama. The mechanic who's serviced it since new says, at 455,000, it shifts smooth, handles like new, structural integrity key, not perfection. Stories like this aren't rare. Scroll through owner forums, and you'll find CR-Vs with 300,000, 400,000, even 500,000 miles on the original drivetrain. One owner of a 2004 model, now at 407,200 miles, has never needed more than the basics. Another, driving a 1,999 CR-V, jokes that with a little luck, it could hit 700,000. The numbers aren't just impressive, they're proof that the right engineering pays off, year after year, mile after mile. Honda's own engineers take pride in this legacy. In interviews, they talk about the focus on overbuilt components, steel timing chains instead of rubber belts, simple, naturally aspirated engines, transmissions designed to outlive the body. One engineer, grinning, summed it up. We designed for the second owner, not just the first. If a CR-V makes it to 500,000 miles, we did our job. The payoff isn't just in longevity. The CR-V delivers 30 miles per gallon combined, a number that shames most luxury SUVs. It's roomy, with 76.5 cubic feet of cargo space, enough for a family's camping trip or a cross-country move. Insurance companies love it too. IHS top safety pick plus ratings keep premiums low, saving owners hundreds a year compared to luxury rivals. And when it's finally time to sell, a 5-year-old CR-V holds nearly 80% of its original value. Used models fly off the lot, sometimes selling for just a few thousand less than a brand new BMW X3. For families in the Midwest, the CR-V is more than a car. It's a lifeline. One owner, a nurse in Minnesota, drives 80 miles a day through snow and ice, trusting her 2015 CR-V to get her home every night. "It's never let me down," she says. "I don't care about badges. I care about making it to work on time. That's real luxury." This is the secret the car industry hopes you'll overlook. The most reliable, cost-effective, and practical SUVs aren't hiding behind velvet ropes or showroom spotlights. They're out on the road, quietly racking up mile after mile, proving that smart engineering and a little common sense can destroy the myth of luxury, one odometer click at a time. Right now, people are dropping $50,000 on luxury SUVs that are getting absolutely destroyed by vehicles costing less than 25 grand, and the car industry? They're counting on you never finding out. Here's what they don't want you to know. Those fancy badges, that premium leather smell, it's all smoke and mirrors. Because under the hood, on the road, where it actually matters, these budget SUVs are embarrassing vehicles that cost twice as much. We're talking better acceleration, superior fuel economy, more cargo space, technology that actually works, all for half the price, or less. But here's where it gets crazy. Luxury dealerships are still packed. Thousands of people every single day are signing away their financial futures for overpriced metal boxes, while the real winners are hiding in plain sight at your local dealership. The automotive elite have been playing you for decades. They bet that you'd never question the price tag, that you'd keep chasing that luxury badge no matter what it costs you. So here's the question that changes everything. What if the smartest car you could buy right now is the one they told you wasn't good enough? Subaru's story isn't about flash. It's about trust, earned mile by mile, in the worst weather, on the longest commutes. The Forester's reputation starts with a number that turns heads, 98 out of 100 for predicted reliability. That's not a typo. It's the highest score in its class, according to J.D. Power. In real life, that means Foresters rack up 200,000 miles and keep going, even in the hands of owners who treat winter roads like obstacle courses. All-wheel drive isn't an option here, it's standard. That's why you'll find Foresters in Vermont, Colorado, and Alaska, outlasting cars that cost twice as much. A few years back, Subaru hit a rough patch with their CVT transmissions. Lawsuits, forums buzzing with complaints, owners worried about overheating and expensive failures. But instead of hiding, Subaru went back to the drawing board. They reinforced clutches, upgraded oil pumps, and most importantly, told owners the truth. Change the CVT fluid every 30,000 miles. Not 60,000, not 100,000, every 30. Follow that simple rule, and today's Forester will breeze past 200,000 miles. Field data on 2019 and newer models shows warranty claims have dropped by 70%. Mechanics who see these cars every day now say the problem is solved. If you stick to the fluid schedule, the transmission will outlast the body panels. Mazda takes a different route. No CVT drama here. The CX-5 sticks with a classic automatic, paired with what they call SkyActiv engineering. It's not marketing fluff. Owners routinely report 200,000, even 250,000 miles with nothing more than oil changes, filters, and the occasional set of brakes. Consumer Reports gives the CX-5 an 85 out of 100 for reliability, and RepairPal rates it 4.5 out of 5. The secret? Mazda's engines use high compression, simple timing chains, and transmissions that don't need special tools or software to fix. That means fewer breakdowns, less time in the shop, and repair bills that don't require a second mortgage. Ask a mechanic what they see in the shop, and they'll tell you. Foresters and CX-5s come in for routine service. Luxury SUVs show up on flatbeds. The difference isn't just in the parts, it's in the philosophy. Subaru and Mazda build for the long haul, not just the first owner. That's why you'll find Foresters with 220,000 miles in the classifieds and CX-5s still running strong at 250,000 miles. The numbers back it up. Average repair costs for these SUVs hover around $400 a year. Compare that to a luxury rival at $1,200. And that's before you factor in the cost of proprietary parts or dealer-only diagnostics. The real proof is on the road. Forester owners in snowy states swap stories about surviving blizzards and icy mountain passes. CX-5 drivers talk about cross-country trips, 40,000-mile years, and engines that never miss a beat. These aren't just anecdotes, they're patterns. When you see a Forester or CX-5 with faded paint and a six-figure odometer, you're looking at a survivor. A car built to last, not to impress a valet. And here's the kicker. You don't need to be an expert to keep these SUVs going. Change the oil, swap the fluids, and stick to the basics. That's it. No $5,000 transmission failures, no waiting weeks for a part from Germany, no surprise warning lights that require a PhD to decode. Just solid engineering, year after year. So while luxury brands chase the next tech fad or status symbol, Subaru and Mazda keep doing what works. They build SUVs that last, that protect your wallet, and that don't care about keeping up appearances. The Forester and CX-5 aren't just alternatives, they're the blueprint for what a smart SUV should be. There is a reason the Lexus LX has a legendary cult following among people who actually keep their vehicles for decades, not just a lease cycle. Underneath the quiet cabin and the stitched leather, the LX is hiding the bones of a Land Cruiser, the same one you will find ferrying aid workers across deserts and diplomats through war zones. Owners post photos of their odometers rolling past 400,000, even 450,000 miles. A 2000 LX 470, still on the road at 500,000 miles, needs little more than timing belts and oil changes. Mechanics who have serviced these trucks for 20 years will tell you, the frame resists rust, demonstrating durability, the V8 just keeps pulling, and the electronics, unlike their German rivals, do not go haywire after the warranty ends. It is not just about surviving the commute. It is about driving from Alaska to Argentina and back without worrying if the next gas station will have a certified technician or a $2,000 sensor in stock. But not everyone wants a truck that feels like it could invade a small country. That is where Hyundai's Santa Fe steps in. Instead of betting everything on overbuilt toughness, Hyundai plays the long game by offering something the luxury brands will not dare: a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. No fine print, no certified pre-owned hoops, just peace of mind, baked into the sticker price. For families who measure value in years, not just features, that warranty is a safety net. It covers the engine, transmission, and drive components for a full decade, outlasting most luxury leases by twice as long. The Santa Fe is not trying to win drag races or outshine anyone at the valet. It is about showing up year after year with no drama. Consumer Reports rates it 82 out of 100 for reliability. Owners talk about hitting 200,000 miles with nothing but fluid changes and the occasional set of brakes. And if something does go wrong, you are not staring down a $5,000 bill. Hyundai's warranty steps in, no questions asked. That is not just reassurance. That is a shield against the surprise costs that turn luxury ownership into a nightmare. Lexus and Hyundai take different paths to the same destination: freedom from worry. The LX wins with old-school durability, steel frames, proven engines, and a reputation for running forever. The Santa Fe wins with a promise, written in black and white, that your biggest repairs are covered for 10 years. Both approaches protect you from the financial landmines that luxury brands bury in the fine print. For anyone tired of gambling on prestige, this is the real value. You can drive a Lexus LX across continents or a Santa Fe across town, knowing you are shielded from the breakdowns and bank-draining repairs that haunt luxury owners. No badge, no premium, just two ways to buy peace of mind. One built on legendary toughness, the other on a warranty no luxury brand will match. That is how you get a luxury-grade experience without paying a luxury-grade price. Acura RDX owners know something the luxury crowd doesn't. You don't have to pay $50,000 for a quiet ride, heated seats, and a badge that turns heads. Underneath the RDX's sleek body sits the same V6 engine that powers the Honda Pilot, a 3.5-liter workhorse with a reputation for going 250,000 miles or more. Mechanics call it the bulletproof V6. It's the kind of engine that shrugs off highway miles, winter starts, and family road trips. And because it's built on Honda's global platform, repairs are simple, parts are cheap, and reliability is a given. The 2013 to 2018 RDX, in particular, is a sweet spot. You get real luxury, leather, tech, AWD, without the headaches or the $5,000 transmission failures that haunt European rivals. Insurance companies treat it like a mainstream SUV too. Some RDX owners pay less to insure their Acura than neighbors do for a Ford Escape or Chevy Equinox. Then there's the Toyota RAV4, the SUV that's become a savings account on wheels. 5 years after rolling off the lot, a RAV4 still holds about 73% of its original value. That's not a typo. Kelley Blue Book calls it the savings bond of the SUV world. Used 2019 RAV4s routinely sell for $22,000 to $24,000, sometimes within a few $1,000s of a brand new BMW X3. The reason? Reliability. The RAV4's 2.5-liter engine is built for the long haul, with owners regularly reporting 300,000 miles on the original drivetrain. Routine oil changes, the occasional set of brakes, and these SUVs just keep going. For anyone worried about resale, the RAV4 is as close to a guaranteed investment as you'll find in the car world. Subaru's Outback rounds out the list with a different kind of promise. Go anywhere. Confidence. Standard all-wheel drive isn't just a feature, it's a philosophy. Subaru tests every Outback on a dedicated AWD cycle, simulating snow, mud, and gravel before it ever leaves the factory. The result? Outbacks rack up 200,000 to 300,000 miles in places where winter lasts half the year. The key is maintenance. Subaru's updated CVT, if you change the fluid every 30,000 miles, will last as long as the body panels. Field data shows that 2019 and newer Outbacks have slashed warranty claims by 70%. Owners in Colorado, Vermont, and Alaska trust their Outbacks for daily commutes through snowdrifts and mountain passes. One mechanic in Anchorage puts it simply: if you want to get home in a blizzard, drive a Subaru. Put these three together, and you get the blueprint for outsmarting the luxury game. The RDX delivers luxury and reliability. The RAV4 protects your wallet at trade-in time, and the Outback conquers any road, any weather. Each one costs less than half of what you'd pay for a luxury badge, yet each outlasts, outperforms, and outvalues the so-called competition. These aren't just smart choices. They're the SUVs that embarrass $50,000 rivals, year after year, mile after mile. So while the luxury world keeps selling dreams and draining wallets, these SUVs keep winning where it counts. On the road, in your bank account, and in the snow at 6 a.m. when you need to get to work. The numbers don't lie. The real luxury isn't in the badge. It's in the freedom to drive, save, and never worry about what's under the hood. Some SUVs aren't just bad deals. They're financial landmines waiting to explode. Take the Jeep Wrangler. The legend might be built on off-road dreams, but the reality is a minefield of mechanical failures and insurance headaches. Electrical gremlins haunt the dashboard, oil leaks stain driveways, and the infamous death wobble, that violent front-end shake at highway speeds, turns a commute into a white-knuckle ordeal. It's not just urban myth. Thousands of Wrangler owners have filed complaints about sudden steering oscillations above 60 miles per hour, sometimes forcing emergency stops on busy highways. Mechanics trace the problem to underbuilt suspension and steering components, but fixes rarely last. IIHS rates the Wrangler as marginal for crash safety, and insurers have noticed. On average, a Wrangler driver pays 20% more for coverage than someone behind the wheel of a Subaru Forester or Honda CR-V. That's an extra $400 a year, every year, just for the privilege of higher risk. But the costliest surprises come from the Ford Explorer. Models built throughout the 2010s are infamous for transmission failures that can strike before 100,000 miles. The culprit is the 6F50 automatic transmission, a unit so prone to slipping, shuddering, and outright failure that it sparked class action lawsuits and a wave of NHTSA complaints. One Texas couple, owners of a 2015 Explorer with just 85,000 miles, found themselves stranded on I-35 when the transmission seized without warning. The repair bill? $4,200. Missed work and lost wages added another $2,000 to their tally. In California, a mother driving her kids to school faced the same fate at 92,000 miles. Her Explorer towed, her vacation plans wrecked, and her bank account lighter by $3,800. These aren't rare stories. Ford settled a $10 million lawsuit to address the thousands of families left stranded or bankrupted by defective transmissions. Shop estimates for a rebuild hover around $3,200, and that's if you are lucky. Add in water pump failures and electrical system glitches, and the Explorer's repair tab climbs even higher. For many, it is a cycle of breakdowns and unexpected expenses that never seems to end. Meanwhile, luxury brands push the idea that higher prices mean fewer problems. But the numbers tell a different story. Jeep Wranglers and Ford Explorers both carry price tags that suggest adventure and capability. Yet owners face a steady drip of repair bills and insurance premiums that erase any sense of value. The Wrangler's go-anywhere myth falls apart when the steering shakes itself loose on the highway. The Explorer's family SUV promise collapses when the transmission quits before the odometer hits 6 figures. The industry won't warn you about these traps. Dealers keep selling the dream, and the cycle keeps spinning. But the data is right there in black and white. Wranglers rack up insurance claims and breakdowns. Explorers empty wallets with repairs that can cost more than the car is worth. For every dollar saved on a flashy ad or a low monthly payment, another 2 or 3 disappear in the service bay. The winners in this game aren't just the ones who buy smart. They're the ones who know what to avoid. Because when it comes to SUVs, the real danger is not missing out on luxury. It is stepping into a deadweight trap that drags your finances down, mile after mile. Picture this: 2 SUVs, side by side, each with 90,000 miles on the clock. On the left, a Toyota RAV4 that costs less than $25,000 new. On the right, an Audi Q5, sticker price north of $50,000. Both have faced the same grind: highway commutes, city potholes, the occasional family road trip. But open the repair files, and the story flips the script on everything the luxury market promises. The RAV4's folder is thin: oil changes, brake pads, a set of tires. Total repair bills, under $2,500. The Audi's folder is thicker: a $1,200 water pump, a $3,800 transmission service, $2,000 for electrical gremlins, and one big hit: a $9,000 piston ring and transfer case replacement, just shy of 90,000 miles. That's more than a third of the car's used value, lost in a single visit to the shop. The RAV4, meanwhile, keeps rolling with nothing but routine care. No drama, no surprise invoices, no late-night calls to the tow truck. Now, zoom out. Over 5 years and 75,000 miles, the numbers stack up. A Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4 averages $500 a year in repairs. The Audi Q5, $1,200. Insurance? The RAV4's top safety pick, plus rating drops annual premiums by $500 compared to the Q5. Over a decade, that's $5,000 in your account, not the insurer's. And when it's time to sell, the RAV4 holds 65% of its value, while the Q5 tumbles below 40%. That's another $10,000 difference at trade-in, money that doesn't vanish the moment you drive off the lot. Add it all up: repairs, insurance, resale. The calculator doesn't lie. Owning a RAV4 or CR-V instead of a luxury rival puts $20,000 to $40,000 back in your pocket over a typical ownership cycle. That's not some spreadsheet fantasy. It's receipts, invoices, and resale checks. Enough to pay for your next car, cover a year of college, or fund a month-long road trip with cash to spare. But numbers alone don't tell the whole story. There's a kind of freedom that comes from knowing your car won't let you down. Owners talk about 300,000-mile road trips, cross-country moves, and winter commutes with zero fear of breakdowns. They don't worry about the next big repair bill or the sinking feeling when a warning light blinks on. Instead, they plan summer vacations, not shop visits. The luxury badge promises status. The reliable SUV delivers results. Every mile you drive is a mile you're not paying for someone else's profit margin or a mechanic's boat payment. That's the real luxury: freedom from worry, freedom from surprise costs, freedom to drive as far as you want without looking over your shoulder. The industry banks on you believing that price equals quality. But the evidence is right here: a $25,000 SUV outlasting and outsaving a $50,000 rival year after year, mile after mile. The next time a salesperson tells you about investment value, ask to see the repair bills and the resale checks. Because in the real world, the winners aren't the ones with the fanciest logo. They're the ones still on the road, still saving money, and still driving circles around the overpriced competition. Today, the smartest SUV choice isn't about luxury or labels. It's about facts you can prove on the road and in your wallet. Every year, Americans lose billions chasing overpriced badges, while reliable SUVs under $25,000 quietly outlast and outperform. The real luxury is freedom from debt, breakdowns, and regret. The question is, are you ready to stop paying for the illusion and start driving what actually wins? Drop your perspective in the comments.